Cheers. Oh, I needed that. Um, you know the feeling when you had a beer in the garage, and then you open another beer, and then you have a couple more after that, and after that your friend comes over and he brings a couple beers, and then you end up drinking a bottle of rum or two, and a couple of beers on top of that. No? Well, you know when you're coming back in the morning and then you see something or somebody tells you something and you all of a sudden get this flashback that you didn't remember before, but then you said like, oh yeah, that did happen. Yeah, I kind of did some work on the bike the other night, and let me show you. Yeah, see something different? That's right, handlebars. Yeah, I kind of was bored over here. Finished, by the way, finished the petrol tank. It's been welded over here and then grinded off, so it looks kind of okay. I cut this tab off over here so the line is smooth as you like it now, and the petrol tank is fully mounted. So we're moving on, hopefully, to the seat. But before I do that, yeah, the bars. I don't think the bars I'm gonna keep them. I'm pretty sure I won't. But basically, what it is, I had these straight tubes, straight bars that I originally bought for the subframe, but since I didn't use it for the subframe, I got about 6 meters of these tubes sitting around, and I was just sick and tired of this ugly handlebars kind of T-bar shape, because they were just too big for the bike and completely wrong shape and wrong size, and everything was just wrong about them. So I was just sick and tired looking at them. So after having a few beers, I just said I'll just mock it up, something like that. And you know what? I'm pretty surprised how it turned up, because this morning I got in here and I'm like, wow, that's actually it's not half bad. That's actually pretty decent. All I did, just cut it down to size and bend it slightly downwards from each side in a vise, and that actually looks pretty good. It clears the petrol tank absolutely fine, and it gives you a bit more of a riding position that I want to. Obviously I won't be keeping these bars. I'm thinking more of a ace bars, go this way and then drop down below here. Definitely not clip-ons. I want the bars on this thing, or maybe even I keep these bars. I don't know, you tell me, guys. I mean, they look pretty cool, pretty aggressive, very simple, but I actually checked it out this morning and it's bang on. The angles are right. It's about 10 degrees each way, and they bang on exactly what it's supposed to be, perfectly straight. So it proves that when I'm drunk I can kind of do a quality work as well. Not, I do recommend you to do that. Don't do what I do. I said it before. Don't work on a motorcycle when you're drunk. It's a bad idea, bad practice. I've done it before. Should not be doing this again. But yeah, I mean, it looks okay. I think it looks okay. I'll probably get a different bars for it, but just a bit of fun. At the moment, it looks alright. Cool. So let's focus on the seat area, because I know where the petrol tank is. It's solid. I know where my feet's gonna be over here. Obviously I need to move the controls later on, but I would like to do the seat right now. And yeah, let's cut some steel. Let's fabricate it, see if we can mock something up over here. Let's start with paper, cardboard, and then we can move on to steel. Yeah, so I think that's more or less what I'm heading with. Move this. Seat starting from about here, like slightly curved and like a lip on top of it, and then gently going here and then raising up towards the hump like that. Whether it will be more straight or more down, I can work it out a little bit later, but at the moment I'm just trying to get an idea. This is just single sheets of paper at the moment, but I kind of like that curvature. I don't want a hump going too much like that. I never like them, this is a bit more. I can raise it up slightly or put it down, and I can work on that curvature from the top. Show you. I can work on this curvature. You can be a bit more pressed down, or you don't need to be that sharp on the end, but I kind of like it. It's not completely pointing, but it's kind of what I had in mind, more or less. Obviously it's difficult to show in a paper shape because it's got another shape so quickly, and it just taped here, but more or less I'm kind of happy with that, especially if it's going to be raised, maybe raised a little bit higher, maybe like that, just to kind of follow that that curve over here. That's not bad actually. It's dropping down now, but you know what I mean. And then the seat comes over here, maybe a little bit higher, so it kind of levels up with the petrol tank slightly. So probably going to raise it a bit higher, because that's going to go up here. I think that is the way to go. Looking at it from here, it will obviously need to be worked a bit more, but that's a good starting point. I think that's this can work. I think this can work. Let me work on this a little bit more, and I'll come back to you. Right, so if you see a tape, cardboard, paper templates everywhere, scissors, there's a good chance there's some metal fabrications going on. Let me take you through it, guys. Let's go. So sometime later I broke it down to 3 major pieces. One is this beautiful shape, and that is the main seat kind of pan, which goes all the way across here. That will obviously be bent under a, like, roll it, because at the moment it's coming back to its original flat position, but that's not the point. So that will be more or less like this over here. This little hood will be sitting on top of it. As you can see, it's more or less getting, obviously once it's lifted up, it's going to be more or less the same height as the petrol tank, kind of. Whether I'm going to put it this way or this way, I haven't decided yet, but that's the last piece of the puzzle. And in between I'm going to cover this seat, the petrol tank over here, with a steel sheet like this, and that will be just gently dropping down onto actual seat with this little wings over here attached, welded to the seat base. So the whole contraption, the bolts, which will be flatted bolts, won't be visible, more or less like this. The whole thing then will be wrapped in leather. It's going to be a foam seat or gel seat, I don't know yet, whatever the upholster guy will come up with. Not too thick, probably just bring it to this level, so it's going to be all the way through up to here, and then probably this little hood over here as the hump, it's going to be wrapped in leather as well, or not. If I make a semi-decent job out of it, then maybe I just leave it metal and paint it later on. I haven't decided yet. If I do that, I will need to do a separate seat base, but that's not the end of the world. We can always come back to that and do it this way. When it comes to the mounting points, I've decided I'm gonna create 2 holes in here, basically drive 2 bolts through the seat, 2 on each side, so it's 4 mounting points altogether. And once everything is in position, I'm gonna weld basically 2 nuts on the inside and 2 over here, so I can screw it in from the sides, nice and easy, and the whole seat, the whole contraption can be sat over here, bolted from the side and taken off as one piece. So I have access to my electrics, my relays, my fuses, and all the other shit that you don't want to see. So we're more or less there. with all these pieces. I've got some steel on the table. That's it's painted at the moment. Not bothered about it. If I need to weld it, I can always take the paint out of it. But it will give me good enough surface to work with it. At the moment, it's, I believe it's 1.5 or 2 mil. It's probably 1.5 mil thick, which is more than thick enough to what I want. It's a very solid piece. Got one over here. Got a couple more on the side. So let's start some metal fabrication yet again. Right, mistake number 1. Because I made a template out of cardboard, which is about 6 mil thick, something like that. And this is only like 1.5 or 2 mil thick. Cardboard was sitting here perfectly, where this one is moving a lot. I wanted to leave on purpose like a gap underneath there because I want lava to wrap around it. But as it stands, it's like 10 mil gap over here, and that's way too much, you know. I mean, I know I can bend it back in shape and bend this up and make it right as it is, but it just sticks a bit too much underneath the frame. Also, the frame goes to chamfer towards the end, towards the tailpiece. It goes inwards slightly, and I didn't take this into consideration. So when it could be flush over here, it sticks here for about another 10 mil or something. So I need to dress it up again. I mean, I got a couple more pieces over there, so that's not the end of the world, and that only took about 20 minutes, half an hour to do. So that's not bad. But yeah, things like this happen in the fabrication, and unfortunately, you know, you forget about it. You know, you try to roll with the flow, and then you just forget about, you know, things like thickness of a different material. But that's not the end of the world. As I said, you know, I'll do it again. That's not a problem. But still, as it stands, I kind of look how it sits at the moment, with this little hump over there. I can put it a little bit like that, or a bit flat, but that's later fabricated, so it joins over here and just perfectly curves over there, bend it inwards as well. That would be a nice touch to it, I think. Yeah, but that's it. I mean, it's plenty of sitting area. It's gonna be over here as well for my fat ass. I can move slightly back and forth. Had a bike before, it was just one sitting position, and that was okay. But sometimes you need to shift on the bike back and forth just a little bit, and that gives me this much room, you know, to position my ass, you know, one way or the other, and that's good. I like that. So let's cut this again and do it properly this time. Do it properly. Right, round 2. This is what I am right now. Just cut that shape out of this steel I've got. Bend it slightly. That will need dressing a bit more. Now what I'll do, just to make it completely as I want to, I'm going to line it up and just draw a line underneath here as the frame, the rail goes, because it goes slightly towards the end. It's very not noticeable, but it goes slightly towards the end, especially by the end of it. So I'm going to draw a line underneath there, and then run a grinder to it slightly and bend it both ways so it sits perfectly on it. And once here, I will start shaping up that tail section. Obviously, you will need to go further up, and I'm thinking probably a bit narrower than this because it's quite wide. But I'll play with it once it's in place and I know exactly where it sits. That will give me more of an idea how to deal with it. And this is the offender. This is the piece that, as you can see, I cut it once and I cut it again just to bend it in the right angle, but it was just not right. Things like this happens, you know, unfortunately, and there's nothing you can do about it. Instead of trying to make this work, I just do it again, because that piece it's scrap right now. I can probably use this part over here for something else later on, but at the moment I decided to go with the new one, and hopefully this will work a little bit better. Right, we're looking better already. There's obviously some more adjustments needs to be done. I want to rub this closely over here, and as I said before, this probably is slightly too wide for what I want to do, but that's easy to do now. I can just shave it off, you know, grind it off on the side to make it a bit more chamfer edge to it. I cut out a piece of cardboard some time ago on the stages of like thinking where to go with this project, so I cut this off and stuck it back on the bottom of the frame. So that's more or less how I, probably a little bit further in, like this. Yeah, like this. That's more or less how I visualize the side of a bike, how it goes in the right levels and everything, the height of a seat more or less, and how it goes one way or the other. You can see it more or less goes like this, and I kind of like that. Obviously it's just a rough template, it's kind of like that, so all I need to do is just match up the height more or less with the height of this cardboard cutout. So I need to bend that piece slightly higher. It's only about an inch more to go. I got plenty of room to do that, and then create that hump and chamfer it from behind. So it's a nice kind of pointy edge towards the back of it, but there's all to come. At the moment I'm happy with this. I'll probably bend it slightly out. Plenty of room for a foam to sit on here. Yeah, that's more or less where we're going in. Rock and roll, get in there. Right, been at it, got here at 3, it's nearly 7:15 now, so been at it just over 4 hours probably, and that's all I've got so far. Funny how it goes, but I think we're taking shape. Obviously that will be cut out over there and nicely welded, and it will be straight down the back. But more or less what I'm heading with this build over here, with this tail section, that will be slightly narrower probably, and just dress down a bit over there, so none of this will be visible, probably not as long as well. But I just made a stencil a little bit bigger, because you can always cut down in the size. You can't make it larger. Well, I can weld it on and stuff, but that's messing about. But I think that's a good enough tail section. I don't think I want anything different. Obviously that will be straight and not as wobbly and probably less pointy. But if I got all this material, I can always work with it, grind it down a bit, and I can always go slightly higher or slightly, probably not any lower than this. That is a pretty good look too, but I don't think it will fit the bike. Straight is not exactly great, so slightly down like this, I think that will fit the stance. Just to show you what the whole thing looks like. What am I going through? This stuff is just to join it together, but yeah, I need a single piece of steel sheet like this, cut around here and more or less to the size this way. Obviously that's just for me, for paper, to join it together, but they will flare out all the way there, and I'll probably just cut it down over here so I can then roll it into that funky shape, tail section shape we've been looking at. More or less, I got 2 more of these pieces left, so I can play with that. I'll do a first one. Hopefully that will be the only time I need to do it. If not, if I mess up, I'll do it again. It's simple. Let's get on with it, guys.